everyday thing. It's an everyday thing. It's an everyday thing when you let your nuts hang.
Welcome to Unhinged Rabbit Hole News. Why do I believe that Trump stole the contingency fund for SNAP? Let's get into it. Let's start with a brief history of Donald Trump and his unpaid bills. In 1984, he stiffed a cabinet maker who supplied slot machines, bars, and desks to the tune of over $84,000. In 1998, a toilet maker fulfills an order for Trump's Taj Mahal in Atlantic City. This order eventually totaled over $200,000. He walked away with $70,000. In 2006, Donald Trump was sued by his personal driver of 25 years for over 3,300 hours of unpaid overtime. During 25 years of service, Noel Centron only received 2 raises, one in 2006 and another in 2010. He eventually sued for over $350,000. In 2007, Trump orders $700,000 of curtains, bed sheets, and pillowcases for Trump Hotel. Trump Hotel eventually increases those orders to the tune of $1.2 million. Due to an unpaid balance of over $550,000, the owner, Larry Walters, halts production and then retains the materials for the curtains as collateral. So Trump does what he does best. He sues and then has the sheriff's office show up and take all of the drapery from the business owner. As the sheriffs are removing these materials, Trump still has not paid. Larry Walters was eventually forced to settle for over $820,000, leaving him $400,000 short of the owed balance. And just a little nugget, he had to file for bankruptcy after that. And as recent as 2017, he was sued and forced to pay over $330,000 for stiffing a paint maker and event staff in Florida. What all of these instances have in common is that Donald Trump owed someone money and decided to use the courts as a way to not be responsible for paying those bills. He has essentially weaponized the court systems in America in order to avoid ever being financially responsible for anything that he does. Another thing that I would like to point out is he has a tendency to always sue into bankruptcy blue-collar workers, the average American. He does not consider us valuable enough to be paid for our services, even after we provide them. Now think of SNAP as a bill. It's a government bill, right? Every month the government has to pay it for us to receive it. Well, it looks to me like based on his pattern, he doesn't have the money and he doesn't plan on giving it.
Ooh, that was a long roundabout way of saying, man, Trump he just not gonna give y'all the money. He not gonna pay y'all. But anyway, we all know Trump is sued crazy. He's suing the Department of Justice. He sued CNN. He sued 60 Minutes. He sued everybody. And then the shocker, the crazy part is him suing the Department of Justice. And then he's going to pay for the ballroom. He said, y'all taxpayers ain't going to pay it. Y'all going to pay me. And then I'll pay for the ballroom. See how that worked? That's cold. Con man or not, that's good business, right? That's good business. Like, y'all got to think of it as a business owner. Would you rather come out the money or would you rather somebody else come out the money? Either way, it gets paid. Let's stop being y'all. This is why black people leaving the Democratic Party, because y'all too liberal with y'all's money. Okay, y'all need to understand how money works.
So the $5 billion that was in that contingency fund, the one that's supposedly supposed to be enough to sustain the SNAP benefits, the reason why they keep going back and forth is because it's gone. The money is gone. The money is gone. It's gone. They took our fucking money and they literally thought that they were going to get away with it. But see, us meddling fucking kids is pointing the fucking fingers in the right directions. And now they got to scramble to figure out how to cover this shit up. That warning about Democrats winning, meaning a lot of people were going to go to jail, is because they all took a piece of that pie. They all took a piece of that fucking pie. And now they got to make sure that they get their buddies in position to not actually investigate. They took our fucking money. They took the money. They took it. They took it. They took it. Why do you think that Donald Trump all of a sudden is having the most profitable year of his fucking career? 80 years. And this is the year that he's making the most money that he's ever made in his entire fucking life. Yeah, they took the fucking money. And now the Supreme Court just went against the judge ruling that forced or ordered the Trump administration to fulfill the entirety of the SNAP benefits for the month of November. Yeah, they took the fucking money. They took the money. That's the only reason why he would have to probably allegedly make that call to Supreme Court, like, listen, block this shit, because they don't have it. They don't have our money, y'all. They took the fucking money. They took the fucking money. Just like the last time that he caused another government federal shutdown, $3 billion was gone. And because it was gone and nobody could ever do anything about it, we couldn't ask no questions about it, they thought they was going to be able to do that shit again.
So the lady just got her stamps for the month of November.
Nah, so they saying Trump stole the money, man. I don't know. I'm not saying he stole the money. He didn't like go in there with a bag and be like, but he may have misplaced the money from the SNAP fund. He said, hey, they don't need all this money in SNAP. Matter of fact, we got 600,000 people off SNAP, so let's take the money that we would have paid them and let's put it over here to where it's going to benefit the Americans. Now, he could have did that. He ain't got to tell y'all about it because he said he going to be transparent, but he not going to tell y'all everything. Transparent, but I'm not going to tell you everything. That's a fact.
Find out that $600 some worth of stamps are gone. Everything is gone except $20. The lady said the only thing she did was when she checked for her stamps, she knows she had over $600 in SNAP benefits covered for this month. They came on her card. She said the only place she shops is Walmart. So she made a purchase at Walmart because she doesn't have a car. So when I guess the order didn't arrive or whatever, she goes to check her benefits or whatever, somebody has taken everything off her SNAP benefits but $20. So we know it had to be an inside job. Something ain't right. This lady was hysterical, holding back the tears. I felt so sorry for her because you could hear her ask her child in the background, when do we get our stamps? And I think the child said November the 7th. She said somebody has stolen all of my stamps except $20. This is sad. These are some trying times we live in. People are desperate and they would do anything to feed their families. But I'm hoping that Walmart has something in place to reimburse that lady, because she said she only uses her card at Walmart. So it had to be somebody at Walmart that took it upon themselves to figure out how to steal all these ladies' stamps but $20. This is sad. $20 they left out of over $600. I hope Walmart reimburse this lady or figures out how to help her out, because that's a lot. And those are all of her stamps for the month of November. These are some trying times we living in, and people are desperate. They doing what they.
I know who did it. Cheryl Hodge. Cheryl Hodge. She teaching a whole class on how to steal stamps. And she tell people, all you got to do is keep putting in the numbers. All you have to have is the sequence of numbers. If you have the sequence of numbers, then you can keep going until it's the time to put in the code. When you put in the code, it's something different. There's a whole nother way you can get the code. So if you got the sequence of numbers, you can find a way to get the code. You probably got to have an inside man. And you stealing SNAP benefits, and they've been stealing SNAP for like 2 years now. So this ain't the first one.
How to do to feed.
The reason the Trump administration is fighting so hard not to fully fund SNAP or pay SNAP is because they stole that money, or they spent it on something they weren't supposed to. And if you think different, you are the fools they want you to be. You are those.
Yeah, I told y'all. They didn't steal the money. They just took the money that they saved from the people that they kicked off SNAP. They just took that money, which was supposed to be for them, but they was like, nah, we just gonna lower their budget. And without telling y'all, they moved the money. They moved the money. But they gonna be able to show where the money went. It's just it wasn't used for what the American people put the money, like, where when they voted for where the money would go. It's just not there. But it's okay. Hey, we all voted for this. Okay, American people, we voted for this, so we got to deal with it. Straight up.
He spent the money. Yeah, Trump spent all the money in the EBT and the SNAP contingency fund. Over $5 billion is gone. In case you've been wondering why he's been doing backflips to keep from having to pay out of the SNAP and EBT contingency fund. All the lawsuits, he's trying to stop it. In case you're wondering why, that's because he doesn't want anybody to find out that that money doesn't exist anymore. Have you seen the documents circulating, the court documents where the justice outlines what happened to that money? The executive branch exhausted that fund. I'm only laughing as a sign of mania and insanity because I don't know what else to do at this point. That sounds like a fucking embezzlement, right? That's a crime. That's a crime for which people do time, yeah? Are we surprised? I'm not surprised. I don't even think his swallowers would be surprised. They just won't care, you know? They just won't care. As far as they're concerned, this is just another step to sticking it to the poor, who is actually mostly made up of them. So the irony is... But... he's never going to see a jail cell for this. And his side won't care. They'll make up some fucking excuse or another.
Alright, so I'm going to tell y'all where all this is coming from, okay? It says the executive branch has exhausted its SNAP contingency reserve. Butterfly in the sky. I could go twice as high. Anyway, which was over $5 billion and can now only provide partial benefits for November. The lack of funds is due to the ongoing government shutdown, which has been the subject of a legal battle that has gone to the Supreme Court. While the Supreme Court has temporarily blocked lower court orders to provide full benefits, some states may have already issued them. Funding exhaustion. The executive branch, we already said that, is not enough to cover government shutdown, legal challenges, current status. As a result of the Supreme Court's order, the executive branch is only able to provide partial SNAP payment benefits for November. Deeper dive into this. Did Trump steal the money? That's what. Alright, so a funding lapse due to a failure by Congress to appropriate funds for the current fiscal year. The SNAP program ran out of regular funding. The executive branch used over $5 billion from its SNAP contingency reserve, but stated this was only enough to cover partial payments for November, not the fully monthly cost of approximately $8.5 to $9 billion. Okay, so he didn't actually steal it. We spent it. It's gone. It wasn't enough to cover it. But some states already issued the full amount. So when the states issued the full amount, everybody else couldn't get paid. Which that don't make no sense, but I guess if it makes sense, like as money's coming out, that's just like there's 50 states, okay, and all these 50 states got automatic withdrawals from the Treasury, so they're gonna automatically withdraw this money as they using it, as they sending it out, and then what happened? We overdraft. Do the government got overdraft protection fee or something? Like, nigga, how y'all run out of money? Like, when I overdraft in my bank, they be like, you ran out of money, but they be like, I still give you some. We're gonna just charge you $17. You know? Can the government withdraw $3.5 billion over and be like, hey, just charge them $17 for the overdraft fee and let's move on? Like, what are we talking about? I don't know, but apparently, you know, he gave Argentina $20 billion. That could have covered it. That $20 billion could have covered it. Actually, that would have covered 2 months. We would have had November and December. What the fuck are we talking about? Talk about we spent it. You damn right he spent it. Okay.
Hey y'all, come look at this. This is a food bank somewhere in white folk Nebraska. And what y'all notice? First of all, that line longer than a motherfucker, boy. And there ain't nine nigga in that line. They don't show this shit on the news right here. Look at all them goddamn hungry white folk. I wonder which way they voted. They probably didn't want to wear their MAGA hats. It ain't time to rally for Trump. Right now it's time to rally up something to eat. Who y'all think they blame for this? Boy, I bet there's some hell of a goddamn information going on in those lines. Out of all those white folk out there, how many of them do y'all think use wash rags? But for real, this just shows that we all hurting, man. All that narrative about single mama, Tyrone this, Tyrone that. When there's so many people that use SNAP benefits from different walks of life that really need that help, man. And that's the part we're not really showing. And this right here show you. Look at him. Look at that.
He not lying. When it comes down to everything that happens with the government, the government don't be like, well, you're a Democrat, you're a Republican, you can't get this. No, it affects all Americans. People. America first, baby. And you know who don't put America first? People who donate billions of dollars to Argentina. But that's neither here nor there.